We've all heard this one, right? The story of the tortoise and the hare. Kachua or khargosh. It's an old one. But you have to wonder, in our world that's all about going faster, getting instant results, does this old story about slow and steady actually matter more today than it ever has?
So yeah, that really brings us to the heart of it, doesn't it? What's the real secret sauce for success? Is it just being fast, or is it being consistent, just not stopping? Let's dig in.
Okay, so how did this whole thing even start? Well, like a lot of great stories, it kicks off with a challenge. And let me tell you, this was no friendly competition. It all started because someone was being made fun of.
And there it is, that's the spark. You've got the hare who's just so full of himself because he's ridiculously fast, right? And he sees the tortoise plodding along and just can't help himself. He starts making fun of him for being so slow. It's pure, uncut arrogance.
So the tortoise has had enough. He's tired of being the butt of the joke, and he accepts the challenge. But let's be super clear here. This wasn't about a friendly race around the park. No way. This was a throwdown to prove once and for all who was better. Pride was absolutely on the line.
All right, let's meet our competitors. First up, the hare. You can sum this guy up in 2 words: fast and arrogant. Speed and pride, that's his whole deal. So let's break this down. On one side, you have the hare, the khargosh. His superpower, he's lightning fast, but his greatest strength is tied directly to his biggest weakness, his arrogance, his ahankar. He really thinks his raw talent is all he needs. Then you've got the tortoise. His weakness is obvious, right? He's slow. But his strength, oh, it's something way more powerful in the long run. Just consistent effort. Okay, now for our underdog, the tortoise. This is where it gets interesting. He's all about patience and persistence, and he's about to turn what everyone sees as his biggest weakness into his secret weapon. And here it is, the secret sauce, lagatar menat. This is so much more than just walking slow. It's a whole philosophy. It's this deep-down belief that just putting one foot in front of the other over and over without stopping, well, that will always beat these short, lazy bursts of talent. The key is just not stopping, ever. So, the stage is set. You've got 2 totally different approaches, 2 completely different mindsets, towing the starting line. Let's see what happens when the race actually starts.
You can really break the race down into 4 parts. Act 1, the gun goes off, and boom, the hare is just a blur, gone, exactly what we all expected. Act 2, the big mistake. The hare is so far ahead he figures, hey, I've got time for a nap. Big mistake. Because Act 3 is the turning point. The tortoise just keeps on going. Slow, steady, never stopping. Which brings us to Act 4, the finish, the unthinkable. The tortoise crosses that finish line while Mr. Natural Talent is still snoozing on the side of the road. Incredible. And at the end of the day, after all the talk, all the boasting, all the differences in raw talent, there was only one winner.
So yeah, the tortoise won. But the real question is, how? Why did he win? Answering that is where we get to the real meat of this story, and believe me, it has nothing to do with running.
So, what are we supposed to take away from this? What can this old story about a sleepy rabbit and a determined tortoise possibly teach us about our lives today?
It all boils down to this, right here. It's not the arrogance, it's not the talent you're born with that gets you the win, it's lagatar mena. It's that consistent, relentless, day in, day out effort. That's what gets you across the finish line first.
You know, this story basically hands us a formula for winning. It's a blueprint. It's telling us to choose consistency over just being fast, to value discipline more than raw talent, to be humble instead of proud, and to never ever forget that the fastest one out of the gate doesn't always win.
So I'll leave you with this question, a pretty important one, I think. As you go about your life, your job, whatever goals you're chasing, think about it. Where are you being the hare? You know, just coasting on your talent, maybe getting a little lazy. And where do you need to be more like the tortoise? Where do you need to apply that steady, persistent focus to win the race that really matters to you? Because how you answer that, well, that could change everything.